Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 12 of What If Naruto was Given Abilities by 4 Devils. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was a direct descendant of the sage that I posted on this channel, and enjoy that guys. And I also posted a brand new episode over on Anime King 2, final episode really of What If Naruto was transported to Justice League World. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy the final episode. And also I posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto had the Renny Tensagon over on Anime King 3. So go ahead and enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last spot we left off, as Naruto went to the hot springs after doing some intense training, it was there that he met Jiraiya. The both of them quickly start to talk about events. Jiraiya realized that Naruto was left alone, so he decided to train him for the time period, as Hinata and Haku and the others were also trained as well to become as strong as possible. They didn't know what was it, but ever since they slept with Naruto, that mark on their neck appeared. Uncle realized that her curse mark was even gone, and that mark now replaced it, as none of them had the slightest idea what exactly it was, but they felt so much stronger for some reason. As everyone continued their training, we then had a time skip as the 3 weeks passed. Everyone got ready for the exam. Everyone is there except for Naruto and Sasuke, as the others are waiting for the exam to begin. The people were cheering and waiting, and they were excited to see what was going to happen, as many believed that the Project Hyuga would easily take out Uzumaki. It wouldn't even be a fair fight, many of them thought. As when the battle came, Naruto came and did a stunning, presentation. As everyone was shocked when they saw the literal hell gates open. As Naruto made his entrance look like he stepped out of hell itself, with his swords as he walked towards Neji. Everyone was now excited to see the battle. Both him and Neji started the tackle down there. Neji really didn't stand a chance, as Naruto was simply evade Neji attacks and toying around him like he was some sort of child. Yes, Neji didn't even stand a chance. As Neji decided to add in more force, but it was then that Naruto started getting a bit serious as he knocked down Neji. He really didn't stand a chance against Naruto. The only reason why Naruto didn't kill him was because even after the twisted things that he did, Hinata still see him as family, and Naruto didn't want to make her sad, as Neji eventually passed out. As Lee faced off against Gaara, Lee tried his best, but he wasn't using his machine gun. He wasn't even using his blade as he fight off against Gaara with his fists. In the end, after damaging Gaara, Lee was still defeated by the sand that threatened to rip his arms apart, until Naruto stopped it. The remaining matches went on, as Sasuke still hadn't shown up yet. The second round then started as Naruto made his way down there, as he was supposed to be fighting the winner of the second match in the first round. But Sasuke wasn't here, as Naruto promised if he made that time he was going to show him that being a Uchiha wasn't special. As Sasuke still hadn't arrived yet, and they decided to extend the time, giving him a 5-minute wait. So yeah guys, that was basically as we left off. You guys can switch across the page for yourself. So what do you say begin this new episode? Naruto's eyes were blood red as his feet was tapping on the ground, his blade over his shoulder as he was waiting for his teammate. Suddenly, the wind started to twirl as a whirlwind appeared a couple of feet away from him, as Naruto stand there as he watched as Sasuke appeared with Kakashi. Everyone gasped at his sudden appearance, but the crowd started to cheer as they now have their match. Sorry we're late. We're not too late, right? Said Kakashi, hoping that Sasuke didn't get disqualified, as he eye-smiled towards Genma. No, Kakashi. Hokage-sama has decided to make him fight in the exam, but that is not without punishment. because he has no lost his chance to advance in rank. No matter how well he does in the tournament, Kakashi's single eye widened. He never thought that being late could actually hold consequences. Well, he does it all the time. He sighs, he asks question. Okay then, so is he facing that puppet user now? No, said Genma. We are currently in the second round. We were all shocked when the opponent forfeited his match to Uchiha, even though it was not there. Kakashi was confused by that. Why would you forfeit if your opponent didn't come? Then who's his opponent? Me. The both of them turned and saw Naruto standing there. As Naruto glanced towards Sasuke, Sasuke felt his hand shaking just by a single damn look. Kakashi gulped as he looked towards Naruto. As he saw the look in Naruto's eyes, well, it looked like a promised punishment as he glanced towards Sasuke. Realized that they wanted the match to start, Kakashi wished them luck as he made his way off. Alright, said Genma. Now, first match in the semifinals. Sasuke Uchiha versus Sparda Naruto. Begin! The entire place went quiet. Even those who wasn't, well, versed in combat, knew that the era was tense. The tension was thick. The only thing that made a sound was Kakashi appearing next to his student in a poof up on the stands. As everyone turned their eyes back to the fight, Sakura on the other hand was holding on to her pants tightly. This was something she never wanted to see. Her teammates were about to fight and she could do nothing to stop them. She could tell that this match would result in the slow destruction of her team, and once again she could do nothing to stop it. Why, is everything changing, she thought. On the arena floor. So you finally came, Nerd, says he pulled a kunai and tossed it as it embedded in the wall. He took off his hair and threw it on it, as he took off his vest and threw it on it as well. The only thing he was wearing was his fishnet shirt that clung to his skin. Many of the girls couldn't believe they were seeing someone so young, so ripped. And not to mention tattoos. I'm gonna enjoy taking you down, dope. You may have gotten stronger over the last year, but you're still that same weak little loser from the academy. He said, a slight smirk on his face. Naruto simply looked at him bored, as Naruto removed his sword and stabbed it into the ground. Apparently your tampon wasn't replaced before you came here. I don't care about your desires, your homophobic fantasies, or your special private time with Kakashi. Sasuke looked embarrassed by what the boy said to him and also felt rage. He quickly activated Sharingan. He blurred away from existence and appeared next to Naruto as he pulled a kunai and swung it towards Naruto's head, only for it to be stopped by a sword. Before Sasuke could react, Naruto's fist slammed into his face as Naruto struck him in the chest next. Sasuke flew backwards. He brought his hand down and stabbed the kunai in the ground, stopping his momentum. But Naruto then stepped off and he was gone. Suddenly, Sasuke was brutally hit by several punches in the face and a massive kick to the chest. Sasuke was sent sailing as he crashed several times. He slowly picked himself up with a groan, as he wasn't going to give up though. He picked himself up and rushed forward. Naruto ducked under the attack as he smashed his fist in Sasuke's gut, allowing Sasuke to keel over before he flipped and used the hem of his boot, smashed into under Sasuke's chin. Sasuke flipped as he landed on his feet though. As he wiped his lips, he came back towards Naruto and sent multiple punches and kicks, but Naruto dodged each and every one of them. As Naruto grabbed Sasuke's right arm, he then grabbed the left before pulling Sasuke forward as he headbutted Sasuke. Sasuke stepped back dizzy. As Naruto started to walk forward, Sasuke flashed two hands and breathed out several fireballs. When they came close, Naruto blurred out of sight. Once again, smack! Sasuke was thrown back by a punch. Pathetic, said Naruto. For the past 6 months, Kakashi had trained you privately, while he ignored me and Sakura, but yet you're still this pathetically weak. You claim that you're the best and you're a member of the strongest clan in Konoha, yet you can't even pose as a challenge to me. Sasuke got up. Shut up, he said as he tossed kunais and shurikens towards Naruto, who simply sidestepped all of them. And your aim is terrible, said Naruto, before he flipped towards where his sword was, as he landed right on the hilt. As Naruto watched Sasuke run through hand sign, Naruto flipped off his blade as a massive flame came towards him, as he grabbed the blade and sliced the flame in half. As he simply walked through the center, he shot towards Sasuke. Naruto ducked under Sasuke's punch, before kneeing Sasuke right in the gut. He twisted around Sasuke and kicked him in the back of the head. Sasuke gasped as he dropped to the ground face first. He quickly flipped around as he pulled two kunais and tossed them, but Naruto knocked them away with his sword. Sasuke panted in pain. And to think, I once considered you as a challenge. Perhaps I should have you replaced with Hanabi-chan. You're really weak. You can't beat me, despite me making this incredibly easy for you. As Naruto smirked, as he decided to add more fuel to the fire. Your parents must be ashamed of you anyway. Sasuke blinked in surprise. I bet they're turning over their graves right now, leaving such a pathetic loser in the world, while the real son that they actually care about and love is off in the world somewhere. I bet your father felt ashamed that you didn't even fight your brother after he was killed. Your mother must be even ashamed of giving you life. Life that is just wasting away, like your loser family, said Naruto. Everyone gasped at the berating. Up in the stands, Kakashi sighed and knew this would happen. As Sakura turned, knew what Kakashi-sensei. Naruto was going to use his anger against him. He knew all of Sasuke's weak spot, and he's going to use that against him. It's a dirty tactic that many shinobis use to lower their opponent's guard, but he's using it to rile up Sasuke so that he can fight and make mistakes. But why would he have the result of that? Couldn't they just have a friendly spar, said Sakura. It's not that easy. Sasuke viewed Naruto as a challenge to everything that he was once on top of, but Naruto no longer seemed that way, and that further infuriated Sasuke. As Sakura looked down in the stadium, back in the arena, Naruto stood up. You should probably just give up now. This match is really a waste of time. As he started to walk away, Sasuke was fuming. How dare that dope speak of him or his clan in that matter? It was an offense that he could not leave unpunished. As he heard a voice in his head, foolish little brother, you have no hate. Only hatred can bring you power, and through that hatred you'll be able to kill me. Sasuke's rage started to bloom even more. His body was trembling. That strange purple chakra that used in the force of death started to leak from him. His neck started to shake as the seal like Kakashi placed over it started to crack, before the flame-like pattern burst and spread across his body. Everyone felt a deadly, uncomposing, wild chakra. Sasuke slowly picked himself up as the purple chakra started to surround him like a tornado. As more fire-like patterns started to appear in his body, he then placed his arm down before he vanished. Meanwhile, Naruto was walking as he heard birds chirping. As he just continued to walk until Sasuke appeared in front of him, his arm covered with lightning. Sasuke drove the Shidori forward as it ripped through Naruto's stomach. Look at you now, dope. I told you that you were still weak. You may be able to talk a good game now, but I told you, I will still come out on top. As he drives his arm a bit deeper, you think it's funny to mock what I gone through. You grew up with no family whatsoever, while I had to endure the loss of mine. By my own brother, you'll regret ever speaking of them like that ever again. Up in the stands, everyone was shocked, as they knew their techniques, the one that knew it. Kakashi Shidori technique, a A rank assassination technique, and he just hit Naruto dead on with it. Naruto's head was hanging over, they couldn't see his eyes because of his hair in his face. He realized the match was not over when, back in the arena, Naruto started to laugh. You think your life was bad, huh? You should know, Uchiha. When it came to suffering, I wrote the book. There ain't a damn thing a loser like you can show me. So if you want to kill me, quit acting like a coward and do it. See? Too much of a coward, said Naruto, as he smashed his fist into Sasuke's face, as Sasuke's arm was pushed out of Naruto. As Naruto started to walk, the stomach wound started to heal at a rapid rate. As Naruto's body started to get cloak, as the fox chakra was surrounding him a bit, as he walked with a menacing step. As his eyes were now completely red, focused on Sasuke, Sasuke started to move back, as he was about to go through hand signs again. As he quickly did it, he created a Shidori and rushed forward. As Sasuke came in with his Shidori once again, a Rasengan flared into Naruto's palm before he drive it. Sasuke was struggling as he pushed his technique, but Naruto looked amused. You know, Uchiha, you weren't the only one working on a new jutsu. I was as well. As he held up his other hand, did you know, a master of the Rasengan was able to form this jutsu in a moment notice, but a true master should know how to form it in both hands. As the second Rasengan formed in Naruto's left hand, as he drive it, the thing slammed into Sasuke's chest as it ripped through his shirt. Before it could burst his skin though, Naruto let the Rasengan explode. As the force sent Sasuke sailing away, he smashed into the wall. Blood exploded from his mouth as he started to cough violently. He had to hold on to his chest that was paining. Sasuke was panting heavily, breathing hard, as Naruto stood in front of him. Foolish Uchiha foolishness. Did you actually think that you were strong? No water down Hiki from a pedophile. an incomplete assassination technique from a backstabbing cheater, or a cursed dojutsu from a pathetic ancestor will make you stronger. It will only further your weak excuse from a pathetic clan filled with losers, excluding your brother and your mother. As Naruto turned to walk away, Sasuke on the other hand was livid. Genma announced Naruto the winner. Sasuke coughed up some more blood. He didn't care. He didn't care anymore. As he went through handstand, he knew that he shouldn't be doing this, as he quickly created another Chidori. Foolish little boy, said Naruto as he turned. Slice! Sasuke's chest erupted in blood as Naruto sliced an X right into his chest. As Naruto pulled out Reaper and fire, bang, Sasuke was thrown back in the wall. Bang, bang, he was slammed into the wall. As Naruto moved forward, it's a shame you couldn't understand before you die, as he pulled back his blade. Suddenly, Jiraiya and Anko came down and stopped him. As Kakashi flashed down there, Naruto, as he looked at Sasuke, gone too far this time. You can't try to kill Sasuke after the match was declared over. Naruto looked towards him. Let me make one thing clear to you, Kakashi. You're not my sensei. All I see are you bastards once more doing every goddamn thing for that Uchiha, when he was the one who started it after all. The match was over. Didn't he just try to kill me with a Chidori? If you want to blame someone, blame him. And I swear, if he's not punished for his transgressions after trying to kill me when the match was over, the next time we fight, I'll kill him myself. As he raised his left hand, his vest and Hiyori fly towards him. As he put them on a walk away to await the next opponent. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be having a 90 minutes break until the next round, said Genma. Time skip. Tenten and Temari fought, as both girls went all out against each other. As the result was both of them getting knocked out, Tenten's training has surely paid off. Seeing that at first she wouldn't even be able to touch Temari, but no, she even went up to her, toe to toe, and the both of them, well, passed out to the end, as Gaara was sent to the finals, and Naruto was the last one remaining. So at the moment, two boys are standing in the arena, as Gaara was radiating killing intent. It's Naruto Sparda versus Gaara of the Sand. Begin, said Genma. Without even waiting, the cork on Gaara's gourd burst out, as sand started to stream everywhere. The sand shot towards Naruto, who simply phased away, as he reappeared behind Gaara. They were so close, they were almost back to back. You know, Gaara, I can see that Shikaku wants to come out and play for a bit, so why not give him what he wants? The sand quickly came towards Naruto as Naruto hopped over it, as Rebellion came in his right hand, as Naruto sliced the wave of sand before landing, as the sand surrounded him in a swirl, as he leaped up in the air avoiding the sand. As he turned, Stinger, he said. Naruto's body was accelerated as he held the blade in front of him. Gaara's eyes widened as he quickly brought up the sand, as the blade was inches away from his face. He looked with surprise, before the sand created arm and tried to grab Naruto, who simply jumped back, holding on to his blade same way. He flipped his blade in the air, and it landed right on his back, as he pulled out both guns and started to fire. As he then curved the bullets right around the sand. The barrier came up and blocked the two bullets, but there was a third bullet in the shadow of the first one. Gaara turned and something fly past his face, slicing his cheek. He reached up and felt liquid on his hand, but Naruto was giving him in time. Lightning release. Lightning dragon bullet his head. The sky darkened as everyone looked up. A lightning bolt then came down that turned to a dragon's head and rushed towards Gaara. Gaara's eyes widened as he brought up a massive sand shield, but the lightning was too potent and powerful, as a blast slammed down and exploded. When the smoke cleared, Gaara was holding his bleeding right arm and panting hard. His eyes were changing as they turned to a strange, shrieking yellow pupil. He grabbed his head as he started to scream. Sand came from his gourd and wrapped around his body, and that hit him from the outside. As Naruto watched as he saw a split right in sand cocoon that Gaara created, as he saw golden yellow eyes looking at him. Look like Tanuki finally wants to come out and play, huh? This will be fun. So let him out. As Naruto watched as arms came out of it, before the body emerged, a human-sized raccoon was standing there, a demon one. In truth, it was still Gaara. His body was covered with a hardened sand, giving the demonic appearance. He had a long tail behind him, and his arms turned to long black claws. Strange blue veins were scattered across his body. It's time to die, he screamed. As Naruto smirked, bring it. Naruto says he watched Gaara came towards him, but since he went to a change, I might as well even the odds. As a bright light engulfed Naruto's right arm, when the light cleared away, his arm had changed. The arm now looked rather demonic. The upper portion had a dark red blue, and the bottom portion had a dark blue ray. A strange crack ran down the center, and it was glowing blue. His nails were replaced with claws, and each of his fingers were glowing, just like a blue crack. As he clenched his fist and threw a few punches in the air, as Gaara was just watching him, Naruto's smirk grew even further. "Now then, let's rock," said Naruto as he dashed forward. Meanwhile, the people were stunned as they were looking down, as when he just thought it was just two boys ready to get in the fight. Now Gaara was a raccoon monster. While Naruto's right arm looked like it belonged to some demon, Hayashi, on the other hand, was surprised to see Naruto using that weapon, the one that made the 4th Hokage feared among so many villages. "Dad, what is that on Naruto-kun's arm?" Hanabi asked as she never saw Naruto do this before. "That, Hanabi, is called the right arm of the devil. It is the true power of Naruto bloodline limit. From what I can remember, it increases the wearer's strength exponentially, and that's only the tip of the iceberg to the power." As Sakura asked Kakashi, but he said that he just, saw it. He didn't remember where or who. Back in the arena, Gaara was sent sailing as Naruto's fist had smashed into his jaw. Gaara stabbed his claws into the ground, stopping his momentum. The moment he looked up though, a boot smashed into his face, launching him up in mid-air. Naruto appeared right in the center as he drove his fist into Gaara's gut. Blood exploded from Gaara's mouth as he was sent to the ground like a missile. Naruto twisted his body and came down. Boom! As he dropped his hand in Gaara's stomach. A massive crater spread out. As Naruto got back to his feet, sand spikes then erupted and slammed into his chest. Gaara pulled himself out of the crater groaning. He waved his hand as a massive sand wave was sent towards Naruto. Naruto slashed towards the sand, ripping through it. As Gaara then blew massive stream of wind from his mouth that slammed into Naruto as Naruto crashed into the wall. "Yes, kill him! Kill him!" the voice said in Gaara's head. "Yes, I will kill him, mother," said Gaara. "You know, you really shouldn't be so quick to assume victory." Gaara turned to see Naruto standing there with a golden Rasengan. "So lovely there." "Rasengan!" said Naruto as he slammed it right into Gaara's stomach. Gaara felt the Rasengan grinding through the sand. His eyes widened as he was sent sailing back to the wall. "Don't tell me it's over. Was that all you got, Gaara?" Naruto asked. A scream could be heard as the entire wall was blown with pure sand. Everyone watched with shock as the sand started to rise and rise and rise and rise until a massive Shikaku stood there. As he took up at least half of the stadium, everyone stood there with shock. Clapping could be heard as they turned, even Shikaku turned. As Naruto was standing on the wall, he was using rebellion as he had stabbed it in the wall. "Man, just when I thought you couldn't get any uglier, you gone and do this. And what the hell's up with the tail? Seems like you're overcompensating for something." As he drew Ancient Reaper before leaping right in front of Shikaku's face and blast. Meanwhile, everyone else was freaking out. That was a Jinchuriki. A Bijou had been released. Meanwhile, Naruto fired off several rounds before he leaped back, before he pulled himself on top of Shikaku as he dodged several sand tentacles. As Naruto brought out his blade and sliced, everything seemed to pause, when suddenly the giant raccoon arm fell down with a massive thud. Naruto pushed himself off Shikaku's shoulder and he started to fall to the ground. Shikaku raised his other arm and brought it down towards Naruto. Naruto turned in mid-air. "Serenity," he said, as he blasted himself to the side as Shikaku's arm slammed into the earth. "Foolish boy, you can't stop me. You'll die," Shikaku says. He fired another blast of wind towards Naruto. As Naruto dodged the wind, as he made his signature jutsu, multi-shell clone jutsu, he said, 500 clones exploded from the smoke, each of them holding Ancient Reaper. "Ready? Aim! Fire!" said Naruto as they all started to burst. The force started slamming Shikaku over and over. As Naruto summoned the Kyuubi, the celestial form behind him started to grow in size and slice. As people were also seeing it, there was someone there and he was large as he was in a samurai clothing. Moving his arm forward, the celestial figure also moved his arm and slammed right into Shikaku. The force of the hit dig right through Shikaku's stomach, leaving a massive gaping hole as the thing fell towards his knees. "Fire!" said Naruto once again. The clones started to light Shikaku up as they put in momentum inside their blast, along with the force of explosion. Shikaku's body was pelted over and over his sand, blowing away. As Naruto stood there, "I can see that you're reaching your limits. I'll give you two choices. Stay here and die, or you can run with your tails between your legs. Literally. Shikaku lifted his head and glared at the boy, as half his face already blasted off. How dare you threaten me? I will never submit, especially to the likes of you. Naruto leaped in the air as he extended the Devil Bringer towards Shikaku and brought it down. As he slammed it on Shikaku's head, as he started to put more force into it. Now you die! As it burst through Shikaku's head, ripping straight down. The sand exploded as Gaara fell out unconscious. A strange golden orb then came from the sand demon. Naruto raised his arm as he grabbed it. Time to see what toy I get this time. A bright flash of light overtook Naruto as he revealed his new weapon. The new devil arm is a set of bracers around his arms and legs. They cover his entire forearm but didn't cover his fingers, with a green jewel on it, surrounded by 8 blue jewels. As Naruto stared at the weapon in confusion, he then turned until he saw a boulder. He then fired his arm out. Razor-sharp wings exploded from it and shred the boulder to pieces. As Naruto realized he had something on his back as well, a strange spine with 4 on each side. Scatter, he said. As the spines moved off his back, Naruto controlled him as he went towards a tree and shredded to pieces. Raising his arm, the spines returned. Not bad, said Naruto. Suddenly, boom! As Naruto turned his head towards the explosion, what the hell? Feathers started to fall down in the arena as people started to fall into a blissful sleep. If that wasn't enough, another explosion went off. When the ninjas looked up, the Kage's boot was covered in smoke. The Kazekage leaped out, holding the Hokage by his throat with a kunai. Sound and Sand ninjas hopped over the hiding places and started to fight. As immediately, the war broke out as it was an invasion. Several Sound Shinobis jumped down. So you're trying to invade the village, huh? Said Naruto, as he pulled out his guns. The spines on his backs then came off. Before he smirked, a massive gust of wind erupted from one, blasting towards his opponent's stomach. Naruto smirked. You just made this so much more fun, he said. Meanwhile, Hiruzen stood calmly as far as you could see. The sand and stone was attacking them. Konoha Shinobi were fighting for their homes. Behind him stood the Kazekage, held Nakuna next to his neck. As he calmly watched the scene down below, Hiruzen started to laugh a bit at the situation at hand, which caused the Kazekage to look at him. And just what is so funny, Hokage-sama? Sarutobi turned his head slightly towards the man behind him. You thought you could fool me, Orochimaru? You forget I was your sensei. The Kazekage eyed Naruto for a bit before he chuckled darkly. He reached and removed the disguise. It was none other than Orochimaru with a sinister smile on his face. He released another dark chuckle. Most people would have pissed their pants by just hearing that chuckle and the ominous feeling that it let off. But Sarutobi simply rolled his eyes. How do you know it was me, Sarutobi-sensei? You think I can't tell your chakra? That foul feeling I will always remember. It seems you haven't learned from all of your defeats. You always depend on the pawns. But a strong king is nothing without a strong kingdom to fight for him, said Sarutobi. And he will never understand. Orochimaru turned slightly as Jiraiya was standing there. At that moment, the Sound Four leaped towards the building. All of them flipped through hand sign and a large purple barrier came up. They all did the same thing as well, to protect themselves. Orochimaru then quickly moved away, as he was wearing the same clothing that he fight Team 7 in. As he was lucky enough to get away from the battle alive, he was lucky to run into Kabuto out there. So sensei, I hope you took my words to heart when I said you should pick a 5th, because today you're gonna die. We shall see, my foolish student, we shall see. Meanwhile, as Naruto sliced and ripped, none of them stand a chance against him, as he took down all the Sound Shinobis. He made his way towards the Kage's boot. Naruto froze when he saw what the hell was going on. Jiraiya and Sarutobi was facing off against... What the hell? Yes, the first and second Hokage. The funny thing was, Hiruzen and Jiraiya were winning, as Orochimaru never expected Jiraiya to join in. Orochimaru thought he had full control of the situation, but the reanimation had been brought back to full strength, and Orochimaru never expected Jiraiya to jump in. So right now things were bad on him. As Naruto saw all sides of the barrier surrounded by Onfu, he summoned Yamato and stepped up to the barrier. And just what the hell are you going to do with that? You can't get past this barrier no matter what you do, said the red-haired female of the group, as Naruto looked at her. So they were the ones holding everything up. Naruto cracked his neck as he tightened his grip on Yamato's hilt. I think instead of telling you, I'll just show you what this can do, said Naruto, as he then slashed at the barrier. But nothing happened. He then slashed several more times before he sheathed his blade. The girl scoffed, and what the... Everyone's eyes widened when cracks started to appear. Then, boom! The barrier fell. That wasn't the only thing that happened. Orochimaru screamed in pain as he was slashed. The first and second heads roll, as their heads were also gone because of the slashes. The Sound 4 also got injured as well. The 6th Arm 1 leaped away before it could get injured though. The right head was slowly trying to pick up herself, as Naruto looked down at her before knocking her in the head as she fell unconscious. As she was the closest Naruto, the other Sound 4 picked up themselves and rushed towards Orochimaru, who was wincing and screaming in pain and agony. Naruto dropped to one knee. Despite making it look so easy, he put a lot of power into that last move to destroy the barrier. Hiruzen and Jiraiya rushed over to his side. Naruto, Hiruzen said, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine." "Take this girl to the hospital. Ibiki will be there to meet you. She's one of Orochimaru's top bodyguard. I believe she has some vital information." Naruto nodded. Hiruzen summoned Enma, as this fight was about to end now. As the battle raged on, they didn't realize that both leaders were gone from the battlefield. The Kazekage was dead, as Orochimaru was playing his lead the entire time, and the Snake Sani was gone as well, so they had no leader. As everything was unstable, Kakashi and Guy were having a little competition who could get more kill. Haku was fighting with her ice, as Anko and Tenten was there, as Anko was using a guitar that could fire off lightning. Tenten was using a briefcase that could transform into various weapons. Hinata and Neji were currently fighting alongside a recover Rock Lee, while the rest of them fought, as Naruto stood on top of the Kage's mountain. "Looks like those idiots just don't want to give up." "Don't worry about it," said the Kyuubi. "By the time you enter the fight, they'll be ready to go with their tails between their legs." Naruto crossed his finger and 2 clones poofed into existence. "Okay guys, let's end this to the charade, shall we?" "No holding back, use the transformation," said Naruto. The clones closed their eyes before they snapped them open. The light and dark form as they summoned Yamato and Rebellion. Naruto bit his thumb as he went through Hansen and slammed his hand down. There was a poof as a blue dragon stood beside him, as Naruto flipped onto the dragon's back as he turned his arm into the Devil Bringer. "Alright, let's rock," said Naruto as the dragon took off into the air. As the 2 clones leaped off. Time skip. 1 week later, the students and the civilians were evacuated, so Konoha suffered minimum losses, but the attacking force suffered a lot. Currently, both civilian and shinobi alike were repairing their village. It will only be a couple of days before the village returned back to normal. If it wasn't for 3 things done beforehand, the village may have lost a lot more. The first was King come to their side and gave them information about what she knew, so that she could become a elite ninja. It was worth it to Sarutobi to gain a new shinobi to help protect his village. That is why everyone was evacuated rather quickly. The second was the capture of Baki, 1 week before the finals, due to Kabuto being under 24 watch after King gave the information. The envoy heard the entire conversation spoken between 2 men, though Kabuto seemed to be the only one that sensed them, as he knocked out Baki and fled, with the envoys in pursuit of him. But it was safe to say that he killed them because they didn't come back, but they at least had Baki. That is why barricades were all around the village, and many places were protected, so it wouldn't take too long before the village was completely in pristine shape once again. The last thing that messed up the Alliance force was Naruto stripping Shikaku from Gaara, as he was now sleeping soundly in the hospital, along with his brother and sister. They found the Kazekage's body, as he was buried in a secluded area with his 2 bodyguards. The man died from a stab wound to the stomach. Long before the invasion, the Sand Council felt like pawns, playing on the Orochimaru's game. They were now desperately trying to regain good faith with Konoha forces, plus the fact they had no leader currently at the moment. If anyone chose to attack them now, they would have no chance of surviving at all. Some of the council members wanted to attack the Sand right away and destroy it, as Danzo was the main one promoting that, but the third shot that down. He had to remind them they were currently weak as well, and they were currently on edge with Kiri. If they took out the only ally they had, Kumo and the Stone have a field day with them. Sarutobi besides, he looked towards the people in the council chambers, those being Kakashi Hatake, Anko Midarashi, Jiraiya, Guy, Haku, Rock Lee, and Neji, and Naruto. Kakashi Hatake, Sensei of Team 7, Might Guide, Sensei of Team 9, the both of you are holding Genins, with unbelievable amount of potential in Shinobi world, but only one of you are responsible for their growth, and that is not you, Kakashi Hatake, said Sarutobi. As Kakashi eye widened, which led Hayashi to continue for the Hokage. Cell 9 has done his job excellently. He has taken the time to thoroughly train all of his students and give them a full year to prepare before he dubbed them for Chunin exams. Rock Lee, your skills in Taijutsu and Kinjutsu has been noticed by the council due to your extreme well-fought performance in the finals of Chunin exams. Even though your weakness is one of ninjutsu and genjutsu, you have moved past it and shown extraordinary growth. As such, this council has recognized your progress, and you shall be promoted to the rank of Trail Jonin. As Guy and Lee's eyes widen, Hayashi then turned towards Neji. Hyuga Neji, known as previous Rookie of the Year and prodigy of the Hyuga clan due to your renowned skill. Although you didn't win your match with Sparda and Naruto, the judges have determined your skill to be above average for a genin, and have stated that you have met the requirements needed for the promotion. However, this council finds that given the state of surveillance and tracking missions, we decide to promote you to Trail Jonin as well. Neji was shocked. Mamakai Haku, even though you have only been here for a short amount of time, since Team 7 Mission to the Wave Village, you shown excellent addition to the village. It was also said that you defeated a massive amount of sound and sand ninjas on your own. As such, we decided to promote you to the rank of Jonin as well. As Hayashi then turns attention towards Kakashi, Haku was surprised. She never expected this. Now then, Kakashi, we of the council has learned how you've been running your squad for the past year. We have learned that you have not taken on your responsibility as a teacher for them. You have shown too much favoritism, and you have continued to go against the rules. For instance, knowing that the client lied about his mission, you did not notify the Hokage. Instead, you took on the mission thinking that your genins were ready for it, despite only being months out of the academy. And you were encountered by the late Mamakai Zabuza. The council members are to mumble to themselves. If it wasn't for him underestimating your students' fighting level, you'd have lost all 3 genins, and your client as well. At that moment, you should have notified the Hokage, but once again you did not, knowing that Zabuza Mamakai would show for a second time. During that time though, you taught them tree walking exercise, but that should have been taught to them a long time ago, the moment they became a team. Then came to your second encounter, which would have led to the death of Sasuke Uchiha if it wasn't for the arrival of Naruto Sparda, and that led to the death of Mamakai Zabuza, and also Naruto killing the shipping magnate Goto. It is also thanks to Naruto that Tazuna, the leader of Wave now, has taken control of Goto's shipping countries and started deal trading post thus. Months after your mission, you neglected your 2 students, only focused on the Uchiha. Luckily, one of them was smart enough to go to Uncle Midarashi, my guy, Hayate, who later introduced him to Uchiha for training. In fact, you were so neglected, you did not even notice your student wasn't there at times. Kakashi looked down in shame as he was being berated by his superiors. But despite all this, you nominated your genins towards the Chunin exams, and you did not prepare them at all. It was only because of Naruto going out seeking training, which was why his team was able to survive the second round. Only 2 of your students managed to move on though. You left as soon as the Uchiha finished his match. Then once the preliminary rounds are over, you left with the Uchiha. But Naruto was very fortunate to find Jiraiya Sanin, who would teach him for the following month. And you taught the Uchiha your famous Shidori technique, who tried to use it to kill his opponent once the match was over, who should have been disqualified from the first, for the both of you being late. It is through these actions that the councils find your actions unfit, and move for the immediate removal of your leadership of Team 7. Team 7 will be disbanded until a proper teacher is found. Once one is found, Cell 7 will be allowed to regroup. Kakashi's eyes widened in shock, as he couldn't believe it. He never thought they would go this far. Also, Sasuke Uchiha trying to kill Sparda and Naruto after the match was ended. He will be suspended for the next 6 months. He will be evaluated by Inoichi Yamanaka with his mental stability, because we have seen signs that need to be checked. Haruna Sakura will be added to Cell 9 until Cell 7 has been given a new leader, as Hayashi and Sir Toby and the others started to talk. As they talked for a good 7 minutes, until they came back. Sir Toby was one to talk now. Kakashi had became afraid, with the circumstances and the evidence. I have no choice but to go with the council upon disbanding Team 7. You're also forbidden to train Sasuke until Inoichi deemed him mentally stable. Kakashi felt like he was punched rapidly in the gut. He knew that with the state Konoha was in now, more demanding missions would come, and he would be needed more than ever. But not like this, he never wanted this at all. In all the stupid crap he has done in his life, he never thought he would be removed as team leader for neglecting his students. This was something that will always be pinned on you. And to make matters even worse, he felt so disappointed, as a person only lose their status as a shinobi leader. That is when their entire team is killed by them making a poor decision. For the first time in a while, he knew that he screwed up big time. Sir Toby then turns attention towards Naruto. Spot Naruto, due to your performance in the Chunin exam finals, and in the invasion, where you were one of the deciding factors that allowed us to push the invasion force back, along with the many recommendations From figureheads that we've got, we decided to promote you to the rank of Elite Jonin. Before long, all of them were dismissed. The only one that were left behind now was Naruto and Jiraiya, and Hiruzen. Now Naruto, as much as I don't want to do this at the moment, I have to give you your first S-rank mission. You shall accompany Jiraiya to find my former student, Tsunade Senju, and bring her back to the village to take the seat of Hokage. Use whatever kind of force to return her here, if convincing don't work out. You shall leave tomorrow morning, dismissed said Sir Toby, but not before tossing her to the scroll that contained his new vest. 1 week later, as Jiraiya and Naruto were entering their new stop in Tanzuka town, arrived in the second town where they searched for Tsunade and didn't find her. Once leaving that town, they knew that they were being followed, as the trucker signature was fairly large, as the both of them were ready for anything. As a woman winked at Jiraiya when they arrived to the hotel room, as Jiraiya went after her, as he could no longer feel a trucker signature nearby. Naruto Sai, a woman, rendered the man powerless with just a single wink, and yet he was one of the most powerful shinobis in the elemental nations. As Naruto went to get some rest, before he paused, as someone was standing right there. Two of them in fact. Naruto was surprised to see they were wearing the same clothing as Deidara. It was Itachi, and also Kisame. Before anything could escalate, Jiraiya arrived. He knew that they were being followed. Not to mention the moment he caught up with the girl. She was dull. She was under genjutsu. Sasuke arrived as he had broken out of Konoha. As he came to kill Itachi, Itachi had quickly subdued him and placed him under a genjutsu. As Itachi and Kisame used that time to escape, seeing that Jiraiya was here, the situation got all sticky, as he used the black flames to burn to the wall. Jiraiya sealed away the black flames. Guy then came, seeing that they came to Konoha first looking for Naruto. As he took Sasuke and headed back, the group made their way to another village, Tanzuka Gai, as there was a massive castle that was destroyed. As Naruto smelled snake, and there was another one here as well, as he could feel the residue of the chakra. As the both of them made their way inside the town, as they made their way where Naruto sensed the chakra signature, it was a bar. Jiraiya smiled. He saw Tsunade sitting down. There was a black-haired woman next to her as well. As Naruto looked towards Tsunade, despite her age, she looked rather young. As he looked back towards Jiraiya, Shizune saw them and she was surprised, as she knew who Jiraiya was. Hey there, Harem. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Tsunade turned. What? Jiraiya? Damn it. I knew I should have skipped town the moment I won multiple bets. As Naruto and Jiraiya sit down, as Naruto's eyes focused on her chest. Mother of God, those things were huge. So what are you doing here? And who's the brat? Jiraiya ordered some tea as he was in the mood for some liquor. His name is Naruto Sparda. He's my godson. Don't you remember? You delivered him 13 years ago. Tsunade narrowed her eyes at Naruto a bit more. That's Minato Kushina's kid. I heard that he defeated Gaara, the one-tailed Jinchuriki of the stand in the Chunin exam, said Shizune. Jiraiya nodded. Yeah, it also got him promoted to Elite Jonin. As for why I'm here, Harem, the old man is getting rather old. He saw the from his recent battle. He decided to retire, and he wants you to become next Hokage. I refuse, said Tsunade. If he could hold that job so long without me, he can hold it once again. Besides, you're there. Why don't you take on the job? That's a better idea than coming this way for nothing at all. But then Harem, he was able to handle the job with ease. But he's realized that he's getting rather old, given this recent evasion. Besides, I'm needing more outside the village now. Since my spy network has been buzzing about the organization, called the Akatsuki after the 9 bejeweled vessels. Naruto glanced towards Jiraiya in confusion. Even so, my decision still stands, Jiraiya. That place hold too many dark memories for me, which I would not relive at all. Just tell the damn truth. You're scared, said Naruto. All of them turned towards Naruto. Jiraiya sighed. He should have expected this. What did you just say, brat? Oh, seems like you're going deaf because of your age, said Naruto. I said you're scared. You're afraid to make people see that you have turned to a shell of your former self. The Hokage said that you'll make a perfect replacement. Yet all I see is an old hag that's been running her life with nothing but drinks and gambling. I thought I'll be meeting the most famous shinobi in medical ninjutsu, not this old, washed up crap. Shizune, even the little pig, and Jiraiya had their mouths gaped at those words. Jiraiya knew that Naruto's the only man on earth had the balls enough to say that to Tsunade, but he did feel sorry now because he was going to lose them, as Tsunade would probably rip them out. Tsunade reached over the table and grabbed Naruto by his shirt. Who the hell do you think you are to talk to me like that? I am still one of the strongest shinobis to walk out of Konoha, and I will prove that to you outside. Naruto grabbed her by the shirt. It seems like your age has made you too arrogant, said Naruto. You're currently drunk as hell, so it'd be a waste of my time to beat living crap out of you. As Naruto got out of the boot, I'm going to the hotel so we can return back to Konoha tomorrow. This was just a waste of time for both you and me. It's a mistake for coming here. Wanna make a bet, brat, said Snavi. Naruto turned. I'm listening, he said. In 3 days, we fight at the hill at the outskirts of the town. If I win, I never see your stupid face again. And you also give me all the money in your wallet. If you win, I'll return to the village. And I'll even give you this necklace around my neck. The famed necklace of the first. Pretty big wager for a simple bet, said Naruto. Tsunade-sama, please don't do this, said Shizune. Stay out of this, Shizune. This is between me and this brat. Very well then, said Naruto. We shall fight in 3 days. However, I will advise you to come back with your A-game. Because if you don't, we'll have to call this mission a failure because of your death. As he walked out of the building. Tsunade, are you sure you want to fight him, Jiraiya said. Tsunade nodded. Yes, I need to prove to him that I'm still the same as when I left. And also prove to myself, she thought. As he watched her left the building, as Shizune followed behind her, Jiraiya sighed. Well, as long as I'm here, might as well do some research. Meanwhile, Gaara, the unstable mental Jinchuriki, had changed. Waking up after his battle with Spot and Naruto, he could no longer hear the voice. He could no longer feel the presence. He could no longer feel the power. The day after he woke up, to his shock he learned that Naruto killed the Shikaku in their fight. But how was he still alive? No one seemed to knew, but he was still alive. But to his joy, he could sleep. Yes, he had been sleeping. It felt so different. And it didn't feel bad, it felt good to be different. But now that he was without the Bichu, his power has weakened. He was known as the one that was able to go on missions, B rank without coming back with a single scratch. But now his power is diminished, and he needed to get stronger. Seeing that the Hokage wasn't pressing anything against his son, as he wanted peace between them, he had nothing to fear, he can train and get stronger on his own. Back with Naruto, as Naruto was walking the path of his mind, something was definitely wrong with him. When he used the dark and light side, it was like they were fighting him. As he was going to investigate at the moment what the hell was going on with him, it was like there was two other consciousness, and they were fighting him. He didn't know what was going on. Currently was in his mind as he made his way down. He needed to go find out what was going on. But guys, we'll be ending this episode right here. If you want the next part of this, don't know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was a direct descendant of the sage. And enjoy that, guys. And I also posted a brand new episode over on Anime King 2. Well, the final episode of What If Naruto was transported to the Justice League world. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy, guys. And also, I posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto had the Renny Tenseigan over on Anime King 3. So go ahead and enjoy that, guys. All link will be down in the description for you guys to enjoy. So yeah, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.